What are cells? Lesson 1, highlighted words. Important words that we need to know. Cells, organisms, cell membrane, nucleus, inherited traits, dominant traits, and recessive traits. All made of cells. Cells are the basic unit of structure and function in a living thing. The bodies of all living things are made up of cells, including nerves and skin cells. Living things are also called organisms and can be made up of one cell or a trillions of cells. Our whole body is an organism. All made of cells. People did not know cells existed because cells were microscopic or not visible without a microscope. Scientists developed a cell theory that states all living things are made of cells, all life processes take place in a cell, and new cells come from existing cells. Robert Hooke was the first person to study cells using a microscope. What parts do cells have? Plants and animals are made up of cells, but they need different cell parts to stay alive. They both need the nucleus, which makes more cells, produces energy, and takes in materials and gets rid of the waste. He's the brain. Cell membrane controls what enters and leaves the cell. Mitochondria releases energy that the cell uses to do their job. The jelly-like cytoplasm gives the cell shape and holds the cell together. We have animal cells and plant cells have both of those. A plant cell, though, has the cell wall protects plant cells and helps the plants keep their shape. It's like the stem part of the plant. The chloroplast uses sun's energy, to make sugar to feed the plants. Chloroplast is the green, gives it the color. These two are what's different about a plant cell to an animal cell. Both the plant cell and the animal cell have a vacuole. In the plant cell, it stores water, nutrients, and waste. In the animal cell, a vacuole is much smaller. We don't need as much space to hold the water. Cell divides and multiplies. Cell's division makes two cells from one. Cell divides for two reasons: to grow and to reproduce. As cell division occurs, the organism grows. When organisms reproduce, they make an egg and a sperm cell through cell division. Chromosomes are the structure in the cell's nucleus made of DNA. DNA is made of sections called genes. Genes control an organism's characteristics. An organism's characteristics such as height or eye color come from the parent cell when they reproduce. How cells divide. Mitosis is a 6-step process that allows the organism to grow. Each chromosome is copied before the cell divides. Copies of each chromosome are joined. The duplicate chromosomes move to the middle of the cell. Then the copied chromosomes separate and move to the opposite end of the cell. The nuclear membrane is formed around each set of chromosomes. Finally, the cytoplasm divides and the cell division is complete. Now you have two cells. Meiosis forms eggs and sperms or sex cells, which have half as many chromosomes as the body cell does. So we have 43. 46. And when we split, we get 23 from the egg and 23 from the sperm, and when they join together, we have 46. Eggs and sperm cells join to form a new single cell during sexual reproduction. A single cell division by mitosis and grows into a new individual. Inherited traits are characteristics passed from your parents to their offspring. Example of these characteristic traits might be your eye color, hair color, freckles, the face shape in your hair, and fur color, texture in an animal. Meiosis causes genetic differences in each organism, receiving only half of its genes from each parent. That's why you are different from your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad. This results in genetic differences between parents and offsprings. In 1800s, Gregor Mendel observed height differences in pea plants. Mendel investigated how the height trait was passed on from parent plants. Mendel hypothesized that traits in an organism are controlled by the pair of factors of each parent passes on one factor. In a pea plant, tallness was strong or a dominant trait. Shortness was weak or a recessive trait. So we had too tall, but we got a small because somewhere in this trait there was two smalls. So here's what I want you to do when you get home. I want you to pick a trait that you have and find out, where did you get that trait from? Did you get your brown eyes, a cleft lip? Can you roll your tongue from your mom or your dad? Maybe both. Find out where you get a trait and bring one of those back and go back as far as you can. Okay.